In this video, I will demonstrate how to combine two different types of wood to create an easy, simple, and beautiful gift, perfect for giving this Christmas. The types of wood I'll use for this project are these. Here, we have a piece of pine measuring approximately 40 centimeters long by 30 centimeters wide. I'll also be using this piece of wood, which appears to be cedar. It's over 40 centimeters long and 13 centimeters wide. I'll begin by marking the pine, positioning it so that the grain runs in this direction. Now, using a pencil, I'll sketch directly onto the piece. My goal is to draw a moon. I've already outlined the outer part, and will now mark the intersection. For this design, it would be ideal to use a compass or a properly sized round object. Since I don't have either, I decided to draw it freehand. I drew the initial lines and made adjustments as I deemed necessary. Now, I'll make the cut along the outer edge of the design to complete this step. For this, I will use this jigsaw, which is an affordable tool and perfect for this type of work. If you're interested, check out the list of available models in the first link in the description. Here's the piece after it's been cut. Notice that, with the remaining material, it's still possible to make another similar piece. Now, using the orbital sander and an 80 grit sandpaper, I'll level the edges. This part will be cut to a length of 40 centimeters. If you haven't liked the video yet, go ahead and do it now. It really helps us bring more creative ideas to you. For the width, I'll leave it at 10 centimeters and remove this section. With a planer, I will remove the existing grooves in this part. In the end, the thickness will be adjusted to 25 millimeters, while the other part will stay at 20 millimeters. This step could have been done with the planer before making the cuts. Not subscribed to the channel yet? Don't waste any time and subscribe now so you won't miss the amazing ideas coming your way. Next, I'll sand everything with a 150 grit paper for a smooth finish. Now, I'll use the router with a 25 millimeter Roman edge bit to create details on 3 top sides of the piece. In the next step, I'll machine the edges using a 30 millimeter corner rounding bit. The edges have been rounded on just one side. Then I'll sand again, this time with 120 grit paper. Now, I'll make some markings. I'll place the rounded side facing down and position another piece slightly below the center. With it in the right position, I'll draw a line. I'll use the square to mark 2 centimeters from the edge on both sides. From this line, I'll leave a gap of approximately 12 millimeters. I will make this mark at both points as well. To make the next marking easier, I will place the cedar piece aligned with the mark that was made and draw a line on the other side. You can see that the markings are well centered. Now, using the square, I'll leave 4 centimeters above and make a mark. At the bottom as well. I will make this marking in the opposite direction, keeping it centered. Here it measures 10.5 centimeters. I marked it 52 millimeters, or 5.2 centimeters. I will do the same on the bottom part as well. Since the piece was made by hand, these measurements are approximate without precise accuracy. For these holes, I will use a 2 millimeter drill bit and countersink them with a 6 millimeter bit. For the others, I will use a 3.5 millimeter drill bit and countersink them with a 10 millimeter bit. The countersinking will be done on the side with the rounded edge. Check out the links in the description to access extra content and special offers that will boost your woodworking journey. Now I will make some markings on the piece. I'll turn it with the detailed side facing down, adjust it to 5 centimeters, and draw a line across. Still at 5 centimeters, I will make marks on both sides. Using the ruler, I will create divisions every 5 centimeters. For these markings, I'll use a 1.5 millimeter drill bit. The hole depth will be around 1 centimeter. In the next step, I will start attaching the 2 parts. I've marked the segment of the lines on the sides. Now, I'll position the piece with the detail facing one side and place the other piece on top of it. I'll leave a 5 centimeter gap on each side, aligning the marks. I'll start drilling with a 2.5 millimeter drill bit. The holes will be made before permanently screwing the 2 pieces together. This will be done at both points. Before assembly, manual sanding will be done using a finer sandpaper than the previous ones. An important detail: these holes were made to secure the item to the wall. However, as done here, they end up diminishing the quality of the work since the screws are visible. One way to improve this is to use screws with rounded heads and a better finish. However, the ideal option would be invisible fasteners on the back of the piece. I chose this approach to make the video recording faster. In the next step, I will complete the assembly. I will apply wood glue like this. For securing, I'll use 40 mm by 3.5 mm screws. I've inserted the screws until their tips protrude. Now, with this piece, I will fit the screws into the holes, then finalize the fastening. Always wipe off the excess glue with a cloth. I'll now erase the markings made earlier. In the next step, I will apply a sealer diluted with thinner, using an electric sprayer as usual. Here's the item with the sealer applied, only the hooks are missing. The chosen model is 20 millimeters long, 12 millimeters wide, and about 2 millimeters thick. Well folks, here is the finished project. It's a key holder that also serves as a stand for small items, in addition to being a decorative piece. Your feedback is essential. Share in the comments what you think about this project. I'd be honored to respond to you. Don't stop here. Check out other fantastic creations that will be displayed on your screen. Thank you for watching and see you in the next video.